You're hot forever. Instagram, because what I'm thinking, this saw here is one that I kind of gave a vague restoration to a little while ago. Now, I didn't sharpen it at the time, and I didn't sort of do anything too special with it, and it cut, but it wasn't great. So, have I got the settings all right on here? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Oh, someone started watching. If you've just started watching, if you can let me know if this is looking okay, that would be super. Please, I'd very much appreciate it. If we can get that going, then live chat, then I'll know whether to carry on. Or if I need to stop this live stream and flip it 90 degrees so it's horizontal instead of vertical. You people, you've got 4 of you in right now, so you 4 can decide whether this continues vertical or I stop and start again horizontally, and also if the sound is doable, because I've got a heater going in the background because it's currently 8 degrees in the workshop. Looks fine. Thank you, MB. Very kind of you. Right, so let's get back into it. So this saw right here, this is a warranted Superior. Warranted Superior, as far as I can tell, isn't a brand itself. It's essentially in the olden days, or in days gone by, when manufacturers used to make saws, if they weren't quite up to snuff to get the Tyzac name, for instance, or whatever else, then they would get the warranted Superior. Sound is good too. Brilliant. Thanks, MB. Hi, Paul. How you doing? And so yeah, so that's what the warranted Superior is all about. So they're good saws, but not necessarily great saws. Now then, I've got a video coming up where I talk about this one up here, which is a footprint saw, and also I've got a video where I'm going to talk about UK saw, plane, chisel makers, and all this sort of good stuff, which I'm researching at the moment because I'm doing some good stuff on that. I'm looking forward to doing that video. Anyway, this saw is one that I did a semi-restoration with a little while ago. I didn't really sharpen it, I don't think. What I've done today is I tried giving it a go on some softwood, and it was rubbish. You never look slimmer in portrait. Cheers, Rich. What I did was I had a bit of metal, not this, but a different bit of metal, because it wasn't sawing overly well, and I put the blade on the metal. And what I did is I got this, and I just went, so really not very hard. I just went all the way along in case the set was a bit extreme. Do you know what I mean? And that might be what was causing the issue with the what's name. So when I run my fingers either side of the blade, I can feel all the teeth, and I can feel that some of them, a couple of them are still sort of coming out a little bit, but nothing too drastic. Now, that being said, I think there still needs to be some sharpening going on, because like I said, I didn't sharpen this, so we might give that a crack in a little while. But what I've done on here is I've tried doing a little bit of sawing on just some softwood. This is just some scrap wood. So there we go, for Dana made, or Jesper makes, scrap wood challenge. No. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a line along the top and a line along the bottom. Now, during this is where I'm going to ask you for some of your advice in a little while. Right, let me just bring the camera over here, flip it around. Now, right here, this is the line that I've just drawn on by pencil, and I'm going to try and follow that line. You can see that I've tried to do this a couple of other times already. But yeah, I'll explain why I'm trying to follow this line in a second, because this, I believe, if your saw set is really out, it will be partially to be the reason why your saw will drift. Now, you can tell me if that's correct or not, but as far as I know, it is. Now, obviously, I have got a 1.5 years experience under my belt, so I am a professional, but I'm not. Now, just trying to start this one off. How many teeth is this? Do you know what I just did? because I'm an idiot. I just put some epoxy on my little glasses holders because I'm officially an old man and I need readers. But these keep slipping off, so I thought I had some epoxy out to fix my wife's glasses, and I thought, well, I'll stick some epoxy on there to make sure my slippy things don't slip off, which is great, but I now need to wear them and that's not super dry. Anyway, let's see if I can figure this out. In fact, do you know what? Whoops. Hello. I know it's a little bit close. Having you on my side as well might help this, because eagle-eyed people in the comments might be better at seeing. Oh, we might even be able to... can we zoom in? Oh, we can zoom in. Who needs glasses when you can zoom in? Right, so I don't know how many teeth per inch this is. So let's have a wee look here and find out. Right, so if I put that there, do you put that... Oh, fuck off. Do you put that in a gullet, or do you supposed to put it on the tooth? I don't know. Right. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11? 11 teeth per inch? Does that sound right? So that should, in theory, just tear through stuff, one might imagine. But unless I did something wrong, in which case, please do let me know. But, I mean, that's counting. How can you cock that up too much? It looks like 11 teeth per inch. So, let's give this a crack. So, like I say, I can feel... We'll measure the width of the blade and stuff in a little while. But I can feel the teeth on the side. The hang on this blade, by the way, is quite significant. So I think this is supposed to be a tenon saw as opposed to anything else, because like that angle is great if you're going to be tenoning in stuff, because you're starting on an angle. That's the hang angle, by the way. If I show you compared to my footprint saw, that's the hang angle of that. You see, because this is a dovetail saw and is meant to be a little bit flatter, so that's that, whereas that's that. See? Did we all learn something? A hang angle. Hey, look at this. Look, I'm going to put something back. Now I've got a nice, sexy workshop. I'm going to have a go at keeping it that way. Right, let's see what we can do. It's a bit angry to get things going, to be fair. Now, I think the set is still a bit wide because I've got a bit of wobble. I've got a bit of wobble going on there. No pressure on the saw, I'm just letting it do the cutting. Now, I don't know whether that was my terrible sawing technique, or, let me just flip that around, or if that is the set on the blade. But I started off straight, and then we kind of, you can see the pencil line right there, and then we kind of went off at a bit of an angle. And that seems to be the case. Well, actually, no, on this one, I went completely different angle. But we can see the kerf going on right here as well, which looks thicker than it possibly should be. For my money, probably be sharpened at the very least. If you're a handsaw person, please do let me know if you agree, because then it'll make me think that I might know what I'm on about, which is always nice. And we'll see where we're going. What have I done with my verniers? We'll get an idea about how wide the blade is. Ow. The blade is nice and straight, by the way. Oh, come on. Oh. Why do batteries hate the cold? Okay, so, oh no, stop it. We've got a 0.71 millimeter on the blade thickness, and let me see if I can try and get the kerf. That's a 106 at the front of the saw. $109 at the middle. $108 at the back. So I would say that that's fairly okay. So what's that? A 0.3? No, to get one. What was it? It was 0.7, wasn't it? 0.7 thickness blade, and that is 108. So that gives us a kerf of 0.3 ish, does it? Or 0.4, whatever it is. I think we can probably sharpen that, so just under 0.4, quite thin. Absolutely. Now I would suggest that, did you see how long and how many strokes it took me to get down here? Again, I was letting the saw do the majority of the work, as you should do. But I think we can get this a little bit sharper. So I think we should probably have a crack at giving it a sharpen. We may as well do a live sharpening and see if it works, because it's a cheeky Friday. Anyone on Poets Day today? Piss off early tomorrow, Saturday? Anyone got one of them going on? Right, okay. Oh, the back's not doing well, that gang. Not doing well. Anyway, I hope I taught you something about the hang. I found that out the other day. I was quite... I thought I'm going to let people know about that, and it's going to make me seem really clever and like I know what I'm doing. So I'm not in the way. I've got my finger pointing forward. My elbows should be in line with it. It's not a race, team. It's not a race. Oh. See? It's that makes me think that there's something... There we go. Oh. Go on, son. That one was a little bit, was it more accurate? Hiya, dancers with Aardvarks. How you doing? Let me show you what that one came out like. Flippy poos. So that's that. You can see that we've got a pencil line there going on right there, but I don't think that's too bad, really, is it? What do you say? I do think that was too many strokes. Afternoon, no, not fun setting a saw teeth. Need to redo mine. That's Lima. Keith Ricks, your tool wall is looking good. Thank you very much. I'm really happy with it. Quite looking much finer looking. Lima, what are you saying? Looking much finer thickness. Certainly. I don't know what that means. But I'm going to suggest that if that saw is a bit sharper, it's going to be better, because that did seem an unnecessary amount of strokes. Had I have thought about this ahead of time, the cut, saw holder thingy. But hang on, I might have a solution to that as well, because I'm a ropey old bastard. Right, here we go. Ha ha ha! This right here is my massive compass, you see. But I think it's also going to work. Right, no it won't, I've got to wash it. Ah, I was a genius then. Hold on, let me go to my tool wall. So only 6 of you now, I apologise for letting you down. Not my tool wall, what is this? Wood, that's what it is. It's wood. Get the cat among the pigeons. Look. Elbow wrist should be, what was that? Elbow wrist should be in a line like a piston and a con rod for the strokes cut. Yes, I was trying, buddy. This vice is not working out well. I need to, I think it's a quick release. I had to bodge the quick release to fix it. And I just don't think it's worked very well at all. So it keeps getting stuck and I have to hit it, which is not ideal, to be fair. So I'm going to need to sort that one out. Right, someone just said something then. What was said? I remember using a cutting block at school so many years ago. The saw slipped and I cut through the bottom of my thumbnail. Really hurt. I can imagine. Right, do you want to see? This would be really good to have some cutting fluid, so I'll see if I've got a, I mean the set on this looks big enough that you can see it. I will do my level best to actually show you in a second. I want to make my own vise and use some like 1.5 inch threaded dowels like the old days. I've just got to think of a way of being able to cut the threaded dowels because I can't, because have you seen how much the bloody thread cutting stuff is? The tap and die for wooden stuff? It's bloody ridiculous. Ridiculous. Oh, come on. Come on, Dean. Just for a little while, pretend you're not a potato. Oh. You know those days when like hands and things just don't do at all what they should be doing? Some of that action. Rob Cosmo makes it look too bloody easy, that's what I'm telling you. Right. That's what we need. Some of that and some of that. Now all I've got to do, easy as pie, I've got to transfer that to the vise. How hard can it be? How hard could that be? It's got to be a piece of piss, isn't it? Right, hang on. Come on, Dean, you can do it. I've got faith in you. Wouldn't. Slide it up. Don't get stuck. Don't drop. Yes! I am the best. Look at that. Right. I'm going to turn this around. Ooh. Some of that. That's not going to work, is it? Nope. Hold on. Hold you on. Can you zoom on the front camera? I hope so. Yes. Right. If I put the other light on, is that going to give us any more? Oh! Ah! Ah! My stream dropped out. Masking tape and super glued the blocks on, possibly. Am I still going? Am I still alive? Yes, I am. Right, I think I pushed wood because I'm a professional. Hold you on. See, these little scraps should do. Oh God, oh God. Why didn't anyone tell me? Oh, oh. No. We're good. We're good. Right, let's not go any further. Okay, so, do you know what? I've got no choice but to wear my epoxy specs. And the thing, I mean, it's tacky, but it's not. What we'll do. If you've ever wondered how to be, I don't know, should we say a style icon? I think probably one of the first things that anybody who knows what they're talking about will tell you is as much masking tape as you can get on your glasses, the better. You know, the more you get up there, the better it is. The cooler you are. So I'm just covering, for those of you that missed what I was saying a little while ago, I got annoyed with my little strings constantly falling off my specs because they're just my readers because I'm really old. So I had the epoxy out earlier and thought, oh, I'll stick some epoxy on there, which I'm undecided was whether it was a good idea or not. Right, let's some of that, and well, some of that, so we can kind of see what we're getting on. What we got? Missed your live one. I'm still here. Still here. Still here. Okay. Now then. Oh! Don't lean on the thing, Dean. That's a silly thing to do. No, give us another pen. Have we got... I really need a Sharpie. Fine nib Sharpies, not necessarily what we want. What I'm trying to do is make sure that I've got all the teeth covered, you see. Paint marker, probably extreme. What's that? No. Bum. Well, we'll just have to make the best of a bad job, won't we? Is that the same? Yeah. So what I'm going to try and do probably need to show you this set because the set looks really extreme. I don't think this is going to help me, you know. I'm not going to lie. I think I'm wasting my time here. Because I'm not getting anything on there. Right. Right, so we're just going to have to use mad skill to know exactly what we've got going on. Let me see if I can... Oh no, I can't show you the set. What if I really zoom in, like max zoom in? You can kind of see, I know the qualities are like that tooth there, super dark. Lighter, super dark. Lighter, super dark. And that's the set going on right there. Right. Okie dokie. So what I'm going to do now is I'm not going to start in the middle. I'm just trying to get a feel for the angle of the teeth. And I think, just realised why they have saw sharpening vices so much higher. The back tooth is almost vertical. It's kind of back just a hair. So the best way I can show you this is if I pop, right, so that wood has this back piece of the file vertical and it doesn't quite fit in the hole. That, however, does. So that is the angle of the teeth on this particular saw. So if I move that back up to being vertical, so I've twisted this on the on the jobby, and as long as that is flat, then my tooth should be, in theory, at the right angle. You with me? So what I did before is, let's see if I can show you again, is the back of my file, I put it like that, so it was vertical. You can see that that's pretty much vertical to that, yeah? And when I put it here, that doesn't fit in the thing because it has to be rotated to there. So we're gonna move that while keeping the file in place, and as long as that's flat, we're going to be filing proper. Okay, now I'm not going to go too crazy on this because, and let's see how we go. Wait, there's no wood on that bit. Let's start at the front then. Right, is that the right angle? It's like sharpening stuff, you're just feeling for the right angle. Right, get that in there. Gosh. And now, oh, I did 4. I've already gone cross-eyed. Right. Again, I'm not putting too much pressure downwards. Those ones seemed a little low. Now I've not jointed this, so flattened all of the teeth out first, because I think we'll be okay, but I'll talk about that in a minute. You'll notice I'm trying to keep this relatively horizontal so we get the same angle on all the teeth. Now I know there's a thing about fleam and all that sort of nonsense, but this is essentially a rip saw, so I don't think that's necessary to worry about. Might be wrong. Reconnect. 11 teeth per inch. I'm not sure if this is meant to be a rip saw or a crosscut saw, but handsaw. And if it's a tenon saw, then it does a bit of everything, as far as I know. Nearly there, not long now. This file I'm using isn't very long. This one. There we go. Oh, fuck. So I've got no support on the back of this part of the saw blade. Right. Right. Let me see if I can show you without losing everything. They look pretty good. And if we go like that, if you look at most of the faces, the file, I think. So, what we'll do now, so I could run over it again just with one. Should I do one more? I don't know. Right, let's go for a speed round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I know this isn't the most enjoyable spectator sport in the world, but it's good to know what it's like on a real level, you know? And unless you're working, what else are you doing? Maybe I should do like one of these on a Friday or a Saturday or something, so it's just like a work along kind of situation, so you don't have to be in your workshop on your Todd. Granted, you have to use your fingers to type to call me bad names, but you know. I'm sure this is the sort of thing that you get much faster at the more you do as well. Right, I'm going to do 2 strokes there because I'm back onto the bit where there isn't any support for the saw. Okay, good. Now, I believe that just sawing, particularly through hardwood, gets rid of any burrs, but who knows? Not got any hardwood in front of me at the moment, so let's have a crack at a bit of this softwood again. Now, we saw a little while ago how long it took me to get through it, but if pardon me, such an uncouth swine. Is it going to make, ow, is what I've just done going to make any difference at all? Answers on a postcard, please. Right, so that's the line that I've just drawn. Let's see how we get on, shall we? Come on, take your time. It's not a race. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Now I went horribly off the line there. If you can see that, went horribly off. And I think I just went a little bit too quick. I don't think it's a problem with the saw, but let's just double check. Because if I've managed to cock up the set of it, that might be a reason for it veering off. I'm going to try and go by the side of it now instead of on it. Wow, would you look at that? Flip. Look at that, look. That's not too shabby, I don't think. I think that looks all right. And I think, unless I'm wrong, maybe not. Not quite straight there. But yeah, thank you, dancers. It did look a lot sharper, didn't it? Now, because I can never leave well enough alone, I'm wondering, you see, I'm contemplating doing a Cosman and getting here, getting the first inch and basically planing that a little bit, or jointing it, so flatten them out a little bit, and then doubling the teeth so I can start it with more teeth and then whoo, get into it big guns. But I don't know. Let's just, where is it? What am I trying to do? Right. I know this isn't a dovetail saw per se, but let's just have a look at how accurate I can be. Yeah, see, that starting section, that would make all the difference if you had less teeth. "11 teeth per inch is pretty angry. See, it's just, it doesn't want to. You see, now, as far as cutting a dovetail, I'm sorry for all these type of close-ups, but that looks relatively accurate, even though I'm terrible. And I'm on the, to be fair, I'm not on the waist side, didn't think that all the way through, but, you know, that doesn't look too bad, I don't think. Now, for reference, I'm not saying this footprint saw, which you'll be seeing a video on soon, for reference, this is machine sharpened. It has 20 teeth per inch and is a little bit more extravagant. But it does leave a much cleaner cut. That one that I just did is on the inside of that other one. See? So what does this teach us, ladies and gentlemen? I think it teaches us that Dean can't do anything with cameras properly. Right. But I think it teaches us that this old saw, not the footprint, but this old saw started off not great, and we've definitely improved it, which I'm very happy about. So that's very cool. What we've got with this saw, with the many more teeth, it was easier to get started. It was easier to do the big cut and all that sort of stuff. But I think once this one gets a little bit more use, it will just grind through stuff much quicker. I think, possibly. Only use will tell. And if you're any sort of hand-sawy people, please do let me know what your thoughts. A trick I learned for starting off rip cuts is to point the tip heavenward, so you're effectively cutting towards the end grain, then bring it down. Helps me. Yeah, absolutely. And what I was saying to people at the start of the video is that is the hang. If you look, that's my finger being horizontal. That's the hang of this saw, of this one. But this dovetail is a lot lower. There's a lot less of an angle going on here, and that's because this one clearly has way more teeth, and so it's easier to start off, whereas that one has got a much steeper angle, and I imagine that is just for the beginning aspect of such things. See if I can go at even more of an angle. You see? Nope. See, that just bangs through stuff now. Once we get it going, once we're in this kind of position, just about see that. Right, so I'm probably, I don't know, 8mm down. Now, gosh, three rips and I'm proper down. So yeah, that, oops, no, there we go. So once again, that was getting it started like that, and then, well, it's way sharper now. Yeah, I mean, this just annihilates wood now. So we've sharpened that to within an inch of its life, and it's done a grand job. How is it at cutting cross grain? Do we care? Let's give it a quick blast and find out. Ow! Oh, that's my stool on the floor. Right. Again, this is kind of a rip saw. You can hear that it's skipping. Sorry, I keep dropping out the connection. But if you're just fresh joining, this did not cut anywhere near that well when I started, and now it's cutting much better, and we've done that in 45 minutes, and I've been talking to camera and fanning around with that as well. My tea is almost cold, but I think that's quite good. I have got a video, like I said, I've got a review of this puppy coming out, and I'll give you a bit of a preview that when it comes to this, I think it's a great little saw, but after the review, I'm then gonna dick about with it and see if I can make it even better. I wasn't there for that. Good point. On the hang, is it an old Spear and Jackson? No, it is it's a warranted Superior, so it could be a Tyzac, it could be whatever. But one of the things that I like about this one is you can see that it is a bent over spine rather than a kind of a thing in there. So I think it's a relatively well-aged saw. It's got a bent over brass back, and yeah, the handle could be a little bit more comfortable, so I might mess about with that a little bit. But yeah, it just needs a little bit. My hand, it's not an overly massive hand, but up here needs a bit of a sorting out. Down here possibly as well. I mean, I could do it on the live if you wanted to see it. If you've got nothing better to do, let me know. But otherwise I will, hey, I can only royally cock up a £2 saw that I got off a car boot, can't I? But let me know. Let me know if you want to see me try and sculpt this out to be a little bit more comfortable, because it just bites into that bit a little bit too much. Like that back section there, not too bad. Could be a little bit wider. But I think I could make that a little bit more comfortable. So if you've ever thought about doing that with a saw, and want to see someone possibly cock up their saw, do let me know. What was that comment then? Better time than I take, but I am a massive perfectionist to my own detriment. Yeah, dude, Lima, I've got, I am a perfectionist, so I always see my inadequacies, and I always see how rubbish certain stuff is. And I haven't made anything that I think is really cool because of that. However, I'm also, and this is the dichotomy that is me, a ropey bastard. So it means that I can do stuff and then go, that'll be all right, that'll be fine. As long as no one else sees it. It's not like I'm going on the internet and showing it to a crap ton of people. So yeah. But do you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to try and do that top bit, just because it's going to really annoy me. And what I don't want to do, I don't want to cock up the nuts holding it in. I just want to get that, and it's just this area here. So what I'm going to do, get a rasp. Have I got a curved rasp? Ow! Let me have a wheel leak. Curved rasp. Go on and for those that saw the workshop tour, I am going through my drawer of sins. Right, we have got a very aggressive rasp going on right there, and we've also got a couple of files. This one's just an old car boot sale. This one's just, I don't know, a home-based one. Right, so is this going to work? Am I going to make the saw more comfortable, or am I going to break it / royally cock it up? Answers on a postcard. I think what I need to do is I need to lift. I've got a blank made up to replace a naff handle on an old £1.50 dovetail saw. Good stuff. So what I want to do is, I think I want this curve just to come out like that a little bit more. Can you see that? If you destroy the handle, at least, what? I didn't see. Just at least you can replace it with a small chunk of beech. Absolutely. So yeah. So that's what I want to do, is get rid of the chat. Right. So this little thing going on here. Now there is a contour to this as well, so we're going to have to be careful. And obviously, I can't see what I've done on this side, so there, probably there. Okay, well that might be right, might not be. Let's get rasping. Tell you what, this rasp is not messing around. Got to try and factor in that there will be a bit of a curve there as well, so not go too heavy. Tell you what, it's not helping the old back. Right, just so you can see kind of what carnage is going on. Yeah. Oh. Right, too many Stellas. Don't drink. Right, so I think that's the bulk of the material off. Paul Sellers did a video on this, I think, and it's much better than this one. So if you want to see someone do it properly, that's probably the way forward. Right, so that's the carnage that we've got thus far. And so we've taken a fair amount away from it, and it's already, I'm going to go just a little bit deeper here, because it's already not grasping on the top of my hand and being uncomfortable like it was. So just going to go, yeah, a little bit in that section. That's feeling nice and comfy now. Right, so now we've got to get it to be nicer, and that's when we're going to use a round file, smooth it out and sculpt it instead of using the very angry rasp. I will move the camera so you can see what I'm doing. No, that's not going to work. I'm trying not to crush the screws and pins and what have you with the vise. Moving down a bit. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Okay. So what I'm not a massive fan of is the sort of pretty steep angle here as well, so I might see about relaxing that a little bit. But so for those that are joining the stream kind of late on, this is an old tenon saw that I fixed up some time ago and made look nice, but I never got around to sharpening. And today seemed as good a day as any to fix that. So we went down to that. Well, we got this little puppy all sharpened up and cutting much better than it was. And then, because I'm a genius, I decided that today was the day that I was going to make the handle a little bit more comfortable as well. So one thing you'll find with the oh, that is very comfortable. The one thing you'll find with a lot of the posher brands is that they do work hard to make sure that the feel of the tool, the handle, is Veritas feels, for instance. You'll probably like the way they all feel. Whereas a lot of the more accessible brands, shall we say, and a lot of the older brands didn't do that because they wanted to appeal to a wider audience. So the idea was to have it fit. Now, if you look at some of the old Tyzac saws, and who is it who begins with a D? There's someone who begins with a D who makes some nice old school saws as well. Diston. Now those guys had some quite well crafted handles, and that was because they were I think they were kind of supposed to be a bit of a special brand even back then. Okay, so I'm trying to put very little pressure on the file now in order to get it to kind of smooth out a lot of the nonsense from earlier. And then we can have a little look and see if we've taken enough material away for it to be comfortable. Yeah, I've got more space on my hand now, which is nice, because if you saw it a little while ago, this was sort of digging into the top of my hand, and it's not now. What I'm going to do is just do a little bit at the bottom there, I think. or I might leave that as is. But what else do I want to do? What else feels uncomfortable? I think this piece here, where the fleshy part of your hand is, I think that needs a little bit of rounding off. Let's just go with it. We're in it now. Anyone else just get stuff and go, fucking, let's just see what we can do with it. This is why car boot sales are brilliant, because if you can find some old stuff in a car boot, you can really get to grips with it and really kind of play around with it, and you're still, hopefully, as long as you have a result at the end of it, saving it from a landfill. So what I'm doing now is just trying to have a little bit more of a curve, so it's slightly less angular, just where the heel of my thumb goes. Oh, that's so much better. So much better. And just to show you what I've done there, all I've done is I've just brought that down a little bit and disrupted, because you can see here that this is quite the angle. What I've done there is I've curved that around, because that's where the fleshy bit of your thumb goes, and so that's just a little bit more comfy now. What I am going to do is go a little bit deeper down in there. I think, am I? Yes, I think I am. I don't know the best way of doing this. One thing that I've not tried using is a saw with you know, the pistol grip, and I like the idea, and I think I would have preferred the pistol grip on here, because this is I mean, this is I will be messing around with this saw at some point in the future, but I think because it's only a little 8-inch dovetail, I think a pistol grip would have been better. But right, I want to do this without messing things up. Right, I'm not going to put the blade in the vise. Don't want to bend the blade, so I'm trying to keep this as light as I can, hence not using the rasp. The rasp obviously would take a lot more out very, very quickly. But I'm not willing to risk it. That's it. It only needed a small amount. See that there? What I'm going to do now is just round that out a little bit. And then we'll get a bit of sandpaper going on. The line at the front here doesn't really make any difference, because that is you don't hold on to that. I'm just giving this a little bit of a softening on the edges. Yeah, I'm very excited about the video that I'm going to be doing about British brands, of which Footprint, which is that one, will be a part of. But there's a surprising amount of British manufacturers of some really decent quality stuff, you know. And if you're like me and you've watched woodworking YouTube for ages, and you've gone, oh well, I haven't got the money for a Veritas or a Lee Nielsen saw or something like that, sometimes just the knowledge that you can get a saw with a lot of strong characteristics and qualities, made in the UK, with steel, Sheffield steel, Sheffield forged. And for those that don't know, Sheffield steel is kind of like, it was a world leader for many, many years, back to the 1700s. And there is still, I think I can think of 3 companies, Footprint being one of them, but another couple where the Sheffield manufacturing process still takes place and makes some wonderful, wonderful bits of equipment. Right, I'm just edging off that, or taking down that edge again. A little bit in there. That is a much more comfortable handle now. I've broken these edges, so rather than being this kind of harsh thing there, I've taken those right down, and especially on that side in there, and that's given me, I've not got rid of a heck of a lot of real estate in there, but what it has is given me some more kind of sort of air. Does that make sense? I think this little finger seems to be being pushed like forward a little bit, so let's just see if we can get that out of the way, and then we'll get into sanding. What's going to be the best way of doing this? Like that. The thing is, with these saw manufacturers, obviously everyone has different size hands, so getting something that's comfortable for everybody is a heck of a gamble. And although people might say, well, you know, the Veritas are the most comfortable saws we've ever had, or, you know, whatever ones, it might be a case where, yeah, that's fine, and it is, they are crazy comfortable for a large amount of people, but for you, nah, because you're a little weirdo. Because you have a different size hand to everybody else. And us weirdos, you should be able to have nice things too. So what I've done there, hopefully, is just give my little finger a little bit more purchase towards the back of the handle, rather than being pushed forward. Do a little bit on this side as well. Need to lift out the vise just to do a little bit in there. Definitely got to make a new vise. Don't bend it, don't bend it. Don't mess it up now, Dean. It's so close to being a lovely saw. But yeah, this warranted Superior, you can find them on like Marketplace and car boot sales and all sorts for very little money. And as far as I can find out, warranted Superior is just when big brands like your Tyzacs, like your whatever's, made something and it wasn't quite up to snuff for their brand. Oh, that's way better. It wasn't quite up to snuff for their brand, they would get the warranted Superior medallion on it instead. And I think that's essentially what that was all about. I'm sure any saw historians will be able to tell me if that's correct or not. Brilliant. So what that's just done is that this was being pushed just forward just a little bit towards, you know, that way, and it wasn't super comfortable. But what I've done is we've broken the corners on here and here, so that's nice and comfy now. And also we've just gone a little bit further back here to allow us to allow us to have just a little bit more comfort. Right, what have we got going on there? We'll be getting a nice handsaw. Looking forward to the videos. Excellent. Imagine barns and second-hand shops in the countryside. I found a lot of these from stuff actually in Norwich City, and Norwich is quite a reasonable sized city. Got very nice warranted superior cross-cut panel saw for 30 quid second-hand from eBay. Yeah, I mean, you'll be able to pick them up for like £5 if you're willing to do work on them. Diston now Bad Axe. Ah, is it? I did not know that. I saw an advert for Bad Axe saws recently. Didn't know that they were what Diston used to be. Warranted superior were made to order for the MOD. They weren't seconds or anything. Well, I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong, Aardvark. I'm just saying all of the research that I've done would suggest otherwise. But that's, you know, that I am completely open to being wrong. But anyway, I think we are pretty much there now. Okay. Yeah, that tea, very cold. Very cold. Now, those of you that might remember, I was a big one for the 3M discs. And they're very good discs and all, but I got more excited about the Smurdex discs, so I've switched over to the Smurdex now. But the 3M stuff, because I don't want to waste my Smurdex, because it's mesh, it's got a nice solid kind of thing that you can use it to hand sand things with. Ow, ow, ow. Go on, son. Yeah. Now, be honest, who else talks to themselves significantly when they're in the workshop? Please say it's not just me. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to get going through. Let's think about it. I'm an idiot. I'm going to suggest that if you cut sandpaper, probably best not to do it grit side up. Just throwing it out there. Okay, so this is 80 grit, and then we'll go to a 180 on the I don't know the best way of holding this. Like that, maybe. Will that do? Yeah, definitely got to sort this. Sort out a new vice, because that's doing my Swede in. Trying to let things round relatively naturally. Because this is quite thick sandpaper, it means that it doesn't sort of go into a right angle instantly, so it helps with kind of easing things round. Bit too thick, mind. Give it another bit. Please don't cut your fingers off, Dean. Not on a live video, that just wouldn't be cool. I will show you the difference this makes at each stage. So I realise you can't see overly well what I'm doing, but if I bring the phone any further forward, it sort of loses out on the internet connection. Not the most exciting spectator sport, I get, but we've started it, so by gosh, we're going to finish it. This is also a stream that literally no one is ever going to watch after this is done because it's too long. But hey, we got to hang out together for a bit, so that's nice. Just got one little divot there where the rasp took things out a little bit too angrily. You know, getting to spend a bit of time doing some hand tooling, woodworking together. It's quite nice. And am I going to be paying for this because my hands aren't going to work properly in a couple of hours? Absolutely. Is the fibromyalgia going to kick my ass because I've done all this? 100%. Is it going to have been absolutely worth it though? Bloody right it has. Okay, so nearly there. Someone needs to think of a way of doing this kind of thing. I suppose. Tell you what you could do. You could get like a thick bit of sandpaper and put it in a like a hacksaw kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? And then you could still do this kind of thing without a lot of the groove. No, you couldn't because no, you couldn't. I'm talking out my arse. Right. A bow of sandpaper, that's the kitty. Right, so that's what we're doing next. We've really reshaped this because this was like this before. And reconnecting, lovely. I need a packet of cards. That's what I need. And this 80 grit will hopefully just get a bunch of the nasty off the handle. That's a bit too aggressive, to be fair. But, you know, it is what it is. It'll look nice once we get some linseed oil on it. Okay, going for the 180 now. My back is really hurting. See, this is why I have a habit of, is this even cutting anymore? Of leaving stuff everywhere in the workshop, because I do a bunch and then go, well, you know, I'll come out and tidy up later because everything really hurts now. And then the next time I come into the workshop, I go, well, I don't really need to tidy because I can do such and such and thing. And then that's when you realise you're very, very quickly getting into just a whole lot of chaos. Anyone want to see me make another marking knife, by the way? So I think that's going to be a video very soon. Okay, so the thicker bit, just in the thick of it, just in the thick of it. Looking prettier, isn't it? You think? I think it is. Just helping that curve smooth over a little bit more while giving us a nicer finish. Now this is the sort of thing that maybe you, if you haven't got all silly levels of fibromyalgia and stuff, could work through the grits of sandpaper, and you would make it look really nice and then really, really smooth, and it would look great, and you'd put some finish on it and it would just look amazing. Now me, can't do that because my little handy pandies will not cope with it at all. So because of that, it gets to be a certain level where things just have to stop. But going back to whoever it was who was saying about being a perfectionist, if I had the capability of spending hours and hours and hours sanding, I absolutely would. There's something quite what's it called when you're just chilling? Can't remember. Therapeutic about sanding. When you've got a job like this, you know, you can't rush it. There's only so much time you can sort of get past. So, oh, it sounds like it's raining hard out there now. I can turn my heater off now I'm doing this. Oh, it's 12 degrees in the workshop. Oh, monkey. I have had my little heater running for quite some time, much longer than I should have done, because I forgot that it was going, because I was doing a live stream. It's feeling nice. Not looking as swish as it could do, because we are, let's say, it's not the best sanding job in the world. Too short. But let me show you where we're at so far. Okay, so this is the top handle. It looks vastly, this horn is vastly different to what it looked like a little while ago. It looks very much like this one, but what I've done is I've taken this hole at the bottom here back a little bit, just so it stops pushing my little finger out forward. I've extended this up the top here a little bit, because then that doesn't sort of clamp on top of my hand quite as badly as it did. And I've eased out the angles that were here, and you can see like that angle there is pretty sharp. It's a relatively sharp angle, and so what I've done around here is I've really curved them around, so it's much more comfortable in the hand. Now, in an ideal world, I would take it apart, sand all this stuff off, and then take it apart, sand all of the finish off there, and go at it properly, but I'm not going to, because again, broken puppy. So if I can just try and scuff the main bits with the 180, and then we can put some boiled linseed oil on, because I'm fairly confident that's what every hand tool woodworker is supposed to do. And then we can call it a day, I think. But when I asked about this right at the start, and I said, who thinks I'm going to royally cock this up? If you're one of those people that thought I was, no. We've made a saw that was, it looked pretty, but it wasn't overly great, into a much more comfortable work of art. Right. Oh, that is so much more comfortable. So I just saw a bit of wood before we this is a bit that I was doing earlier on. Make sure that we've not cocked anything up, bent anything, or done anything stupid. Yikes. Okay. Look at that. Deep as you like. That cut is 35mm. Like instantly, without even thinking of it. That's not bad. 11 tooth per inch. That came out to be pretty dang sweet. Now then, get one of my silicone sheets here, because we will use this to finish on. In an ideal world, you'd wipe it down, I guess, but I'm not going to. Do you know what? I'm not even going to put this away because I'm hurting a lot. Yeah, that rests on the button, so I don't have to worry about putting anything under there to support it. Ow! And I'm sure a lot of you know about this already, but if you ever have any of these, like yogurt pots or things, are you outside, hon? Cup of tea? Oh, lovely. The wife's just brought in a cup of tea. Hold you 1 second. I'm on a live stream. Thank you very much. Ooh, snow.
Hail and snow.
Lovely. Right, hold you on, people. Oh. That look. I was going to make these or get made and sell them, but they're really crap quality, so I didn't. But done is better than perfect. So do that what you want. But if it's done, it's better than perfect. Should I just put... No, I've used that for wax, not for... Ow. Oh. I need significantly more rags. in the meantime, I don't even need scissors. Get one of these big foam brushes, cut a bit off. Bit of boiled linseed oil. This Everbuild stuff seems cheap and cheerful, does the trick. Okay, now I know ordinarily you would wear gloves, but I haven't got any out here, so there's that. I'm going to try not to get it over my hands as much as I can as well, so that'll be nice. What we're doing now, look at that. It's making a nice big difference. There are a couple of woodworm holes in this from that were there when I got it originally. Like I said, this saw was only a couple of quid off of a car boot, so it doesn't need to cost a whole lot. If you're in Norfolk, there is at the moment, at this very moment in time, on Marketplace, there's a chap selling 3 saws, one of which looks like a Tyzac, according to the handle. They're all rusty, they all need looking after, but he's selling them for a tenner, I think, and that's all 3 for the tenner, not a tenner each. And so get one of those, spend an afternoon sorting it out, and you'll have a jolly nice saw that has survived, quite possibly, more years than you have so far. I'm on a bit of a strict budget, so it's not happening for me, but if someone's around the Norwich area, it's a little bit of a bargain on Marketplace. Okay. Right. Drowning that within an inch of its life in linseed oil. We'll give it a couple of minutes, wipe off what's left, and then that is what we call job done. But that looks so much sexier already, doesn't it? Look at that horn. Gives me the horn, I tell you. Right, is that, no, wrong way up. Put it on a nut, not the medallion. That's the kiddie. Right, so we'll leave that to go for a couple of minutes. I'll have a little look through chat, see if there's any questions, if there's anything that you want to ask or say. Oh, while we're waiting for that to dry, please go ahead and let me know. But let's see what people are saying. Where's the chat? Sanding bow worked really well to do that. Bit of bow sandpaper, sounds like a new project. It was Rolls Royce of steel, absolutely. Therapeutic, that's the word. Looks much better, thank you very much, Dances. So yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people don't recognise or don't understand any snow. Yeah, it's snowing and hailing right at this moment in time. There was a solid flurry of snow earlier on, but it didn't sort of hang around for very long. But yeah, it's snow and hail out there at the moment. Yeah, there's some amazing stuff going on, still coming out of the UK, which a lot of people are unaware of. I know I certainly was. And because of that, one of the things on this channel that I want to do is highlight UK manufacturers who do good stuff, you know, because I think, especially here on YouTube, there is so much that that we think, oh, you know, it's got to be American made or Canadian made or whatever else to be any good, like your Veritas or your Lee Nielsen's or whatever else. And I'm not in any way saying that they're not worth it, because obviously many people do like them, and I've never tried them, so I've got nothing to compare it to. But what I am saying is the UK has a lot of manufacturing expertise. We were the people that literally made metal. Sheffield was world leading with its steel manufacture. I think it was a really big thing around 1700 and something. And then was it a different type of steel someone came out with? I don't know, but everything from knives to planes to chisels to tools of all kinds made here in the UK using Sheffield steel. And Sheffield steel also got pushed out to many other countries, so other countries could use our steel to make their stuff, because it was known for its quality, its hardness, and just how good it was as a whole. So to know that there are companies still producing quality components still in Sheffield, I think is bloody marvellous. And like I said, Footprint, who do that saw, they're from Sheffield. They've got their own forges there. They make stuff there. I'll be doing a review on that saw. But also, reconnect. Come on, you can do it. But yeah, so I'm going to let people know as much as I can of UK manufacturers for as long as I can, because I think we get overlooked, because YouTube is generally populated by many people in other countries, which is fine, but it does mean that there's people or less people here to shout about how great UK stuff is. You know, and I'm not one of these people that has issues with stuff from other countries, not at all. You know, most of the stuff that you own is from another country. I'm not one of those nuggets, but what I am is, you know, just highlighting the good shit that we still do. Because the UK's in a bit of a mess at the minute. It's not doing overly great. And I think rather than all the negative stuff, we should possibly celebrate the good stuff, you know? There needs more positivity in the world, not just all the negativity and the you know, so-and-so and thing and such is rubbish. Let's go for the so-and-so and such a thing is fantastic. Look what you can get here. Tell you what, I got more of a shine on that with that 180 than I thought I was going to. I'm very much looking forward to doing the video making shellac finish, because I know that's an old favourite of the old schoolers. Now, because it's boiled linseed oil, I will make sure that these paper rags don't get thrown just in the bin on top of everything else, and that they are able to dry in a fire-free environment. That feels significantly better than it did do. That's way smoother as well. I'm quite shocked at that. What do you think? Look at that grain as well. How cool does that look? But yeah, that is the saw that we've customised the living pea out of today, and that is that. I look forward to the shellac. I've been using Danish oil and wax, but I'd love short application of shellac. Absolutely, I'm very much looking forward to it as well. But yeah, that's that. I guess we could put another coat of stuff on there at some point in time once that's really sort of sunk in, but it feels so much nice. I could buy Axminster machinery here in the US. I like the products I can get. I mean, it's all right. I don't know how much stuff Axminster actually makes in the UK. I think there's a lot of stuff that is made abroad, and it might be assembled here in the UK, but it's not. We don't seem to have many of what like the Yanks have. Like Veritas is Canadian, isn't it? So we don't really have much of that. I don't know what Veritas do, if they make their own, if they forge their own blades and steel and stuff, to be honest. So I might be talking out my arse. But yeah, there's a bunch of good stuff that you can buy. But in the UK, if you can just sort of search out the nice stuff, do you know what I mean? Like that footprint saw, as is, £66 on Amazon today. You can go out and order one, hand forged here in the UK. Now it is machine sharpened, and it's not got a polished brass on it, but still UK and forged in the UK. Or you can go and get some of these old things and sort them out like a boss. But nice things don't have to cost crazy money. There is a manufacturer in the UK that I'll tell you about that makes saws that just are ridiculously expensive. They're all hand cut and handmade and hand lovely, and they're gorgeous. But you've got to really have some coin to be messing around with to sort those out. But yeah, there we go. So that's that. That's the job we've done today, which has been quite significant, and I'm pleased we've done it. I'm not tightening that up too much, and there are wooden jaws on here, so I'm not upsetting the set. But even then, I've just realised I'm not comfortable with that. But good, right? Well, it makes lovely fro. Who are we talking about? I really want a fro, actually. Ray Isles is a British manufacturer, if memory serves. May have the spelling wrong, that sells stuff via Workshop Heaven. Bit bourgeoisie for me, fair enough. Axminster Machinery is mostly rebadged Harvey, because there is a lot of Axminster stuff that's very, very similar to Charnwood stuff, isn't there? And there's, I don't know why that's the case. High Flying Banana, how you doing? I can make this. Thank you very much for joining in. Lima Rail. Yeah, I'll have a look for Ray Isles. I had that thought just after I posted, didn't see what that was about. It might be Ashley Isles. Memory's a bit foggy. I'm fairly confident I can't afford anything on the Workshop Heaven website. Fairly confident. but there you go. Ashley is right. Their turning and carving tools are great. Ashley Isles, my bad. Right, cool. Anyway, we've done a bit. That is a bit patchy going on there. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave that to... I'm going to put another dose on, and then I'm just going to leave it nice and thick to soak in overnight, and then it can sort itself out. That's what I'm going to do, because that's the kind of person I am. But I'm pleased we've done this. Thanks for a great stream. I have to go. Well, so do I, Kyle. But thank you for joining in. And thank you to everybody that's joined in, and thank you to everybody that's stuck with me through the months where the workshop has been down, or I've been down. I really appreciate you hanging about. And we've got a lot of really good stuff coming up. We've got, I have got some reviews that need doing. I've got a Bosch professional cordless grinder that I'm excited to do. But I might show you that in action by building a marking knife with it first. I don't know. But that review will be up soon. The footprint saw review, the sort of, not an expose, but the video discussing UK manufacturers, that's going to be a thing. I've got the cheap alternative to the match fit dovetail system that I hope to be doing very, very soon. And also a review of the match fit dovetail system, seeing as my wife very kindly got it for me for Christmas. But yeah, it'll be a case of, which is better, the DIY or the proper stuff. Right, there we go. That's that. So I'm going to leave that overnight, see how that goes, and then when I look at it tomorrow, it's going to be sexy as you like. The one thing I've not done is checked. Has anyone seen if my glasses have moved? Because they might have been epoxied to my head. No, they're not epoxied to my head. I call that a win. my bits of blue tape there where the epoxy is holding the straps in has worked. Good. Right. Thank you very much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. It's been a hell of a stream. It probably is going to be bad for the channel because it's so long and no one's going to watch it after the event. But there we go. Right. I'm going to go and lay down on the sofa for the rest of the night and have a little cry. The throw I got was only about 50 quid. That's fantastic. But I haven't got money for anything at the minute. Right. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. See you very soon. And have a great weekend. Bye-bye.